Here we are back on a Monday. All 32 teams just had their schedule released last Thursday, so we're going to get to that today, and I'll give you my standing predictions. I also want to talk about CeeDee Lamb getting drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, and then over to Todd Gurley with the Atlanta Falcons. So, are you ready to get your fix? Now, before I get to my standing predictions, I want to talk about CeeDee Lamb. Going into the draft, I felt CeeDee Lamb was the best receiver, but not too much better than Jerry Jeudy, who got drafted by the Denver Broncos. I felt CeeDee Lamb was going to end up with probably the Jets, being that Robbie Anderson just left and they don't have a number one receiver anymore. So my second choice, though, for CeeDee Lamb was the Las Vegas Raiders. So they can get Derek Carr another weapon like when he had Amari Cooper. Granted, he wasn't very consistent in that system, but that's kind of what I was thinking. However, I was wrong, and CeeDee Lamb ended up getting drafted by the Dallas Cowboys with the 17th pick in the first round. This was a bit of a shocker, and I felt like going to the draft, the Cowboys needed to address the cornerback situation, being that Byron Jones left, as well as the offensive line, maybe. Byron Jones went to the Miami Dolphins, so now they really don't have a corner. It's kind of like the Minnesota Vikings, how they just got rid of every corner and didn't sign one. It's kind of like one of those situations. But they ended up addressing that later on and getting Trevon Diggs with the 51st pick in the second round. However, I feel like the addition of CeeDee Lamb with the Dallas Cowboys is good because now Dak doesn't have any excuses like if he messes up. The Cowboys wide receiver core goes Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup. This is a pretty solid group of guys. It really is. If they're not going to get open, you can just hand the ball off to one of the greatest running backs of today's game, Ezekiel Elliott, and he's going to get the job done. So to me, CeeDee Lamb, I feel like he's going to go and take over that slot position and run quicker routes right away until defenders start double teaming him when he comes across the middle, and that's where I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to utilize him and spread him out wide at that point, and then give him a quick. He's going to go deep, but when he's going to get there, he's going to have a quick stutter step, and then he's going to go. So the only thing I'm really worried about is during college, cornerbacks rarely played up close to CeeDee. Most of them played 5 to 7 yards off of CeeDee, so he hasn't had that chance to really test his strength and be physical with checking the corner and then getting open and just being, like I said, more physical. So I don't think he's going to have a problem with this, but it's going to take him some time to get used to defenders playing right up on him and being that physical wide receiver that you have to be kind of in the NFL every once in a while. I feel with this offense, if Amari Cooper doesn't go crazy, then that CeeDee Lamb could potentially get 1,000 yards. And I know that's quite a stretch, but it's very possible. So first, we got to see Andy Dalton, how he signed with the Dallas Cowboys as well, and now we get to see how CeeDee Lamb is gonna work out. So it's gonna be exciting to watch this team perform, and I believe they're gonna be just fine. Maybe lack a bit at the cornerback position, being that you have a young corner in Trevon Diggs, but overall, I feel that they'll make the playoffs. It's the Dallas Cowboys. You got to give them a chance, So now, like I said, I'm going to do my standing predictions at the end. I'm going to go on a Todd Gurley right now, who got released by the Los Angeles Rams and ended up signing with the Atlanta Falcons. He signed a one-year deal that was actually worth $6 million, and on top of that, the Rams owe him $7.5 million, which he still hasn't got yet. So, and all that was guaranteed, and that he's been kind of going on social media and arguing about him, telling his teammates not to call him until he gets paid and all this stuff, but that's just how it is. I felt like this was a very interesting move. Devontae Freeman was a really good running back for Atlanta. He left. He's now a free agent, and I thought they should have kept him. I think they still should go sign him. I feel they need to pair someone with Gurley. If you go back 2 seasons, Todd Gurley was really hitting a wall. Many people thought he was performing poorly, not up to expectations. However, during that season, the Los Angeles Rams, they gave us a glimpse of how to utilize Gurley by running the ball with 2 different running backs, like C.J. Anderson. This helped a lot. Like a lot. He performed way better. I feel like he may have been a little overshadowed that season, but not really because it's Todd Gurley. So you go out there, and now they make it to the Super Bowl with 2 good running backs, 2 solid running backs, and go out there and get you 5-10 yards. You can literally use every other play with them. So, anyways, I feel like the Rams figured out how Todd Gurley performs way better when he doesn't have to do the job all himself. I feel like they exposed him a little to the fact that he may not be the workhorse we thought, but he's able to get the job done with having 2 people carrying the ball and going out there. So I felt like them signing Todd Gurley is a good move. It's a really good move. But bring Devonta Freeman back. Bring him back. If Devonta wants to be a starter, so be it. But tell him that each of them are gonna get 50-50. So I feel like this is gonna help. I feel like it really could help Todd Gurley. But he's still gonna have a good season regardless if they sign another running back or not. He's still gonna be just fine. So now on to the fun stuff. Like I said, all 32 teams just had their schedule released last Thursday. And it's still going to be a 16-game season instead of a 17, which will take place next season. Now, I took a look at every single game for every week. And I kind of made my predictions on how I finish each team will finish the year off. So I'll go over the AFC first and then the NFC. So in the AFC North, we have the Baltimore Ravens. I have them going 11-5, winning the division. And then the Cleveland Browns 10-6, Pittsburgh Steelers 6-10, and then Bengals 4-12. 11-5, maybe not enough wins, or not a good enough record for the Ravens, but I feel like it's right. It'll be right around that ballpark. 11-5, 12-4, 10-6. Probably won't be 10-6 though. Going over to the AFC South, I have the Indianapolis Colts going 10-6, then the Tennessee Titans going 9-7, the Houston Texans going 5-11, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars 3-13. I feel like the Tennessee Titans more or less were of a shocker team last year, so I don't think they're going to have as many wins as they did last year. Well, they might have won 9-7, but I just don't feel like they're going to win the division. I feel like the Colts are going to come out there, especially with their defense, and hopefully Philip Rivers does really well there. They just had a really nice draft class with Michael Pittman Jr. to pair with T.Y. Hilton, so I feel like this is the Colts division. Now let's go over to the AFC East, where I got the Buffalo Bills winning the division at 12-4, then the Miami Dolphins at 8-8, the New England Patriots at 7-9, and then the New York Jets at 6-10. Like I know it the other day, I said when I was talking about Tua, I said the Miami Dolphins are going to have a really good chance of finishing second place in their division. And I actually got them going second place by one game over the Patriots. Patriots are going to have the good season that everyone thinks they could or would have had with Tom Brady. But that's where I stand. I know the Buffalo Bills are a really, really good team. I feel like 12-4 is a good situation for them. So lastly, for the AFC, I want to talk about the AFC West. I got the Kansas City Chiefs going 13-3, the Las Vegas Raiders going 10-6, and then the LA Chargers going 7-9. And then finally, the Denver Broncos going 6-10. So this is a no-brainer to say. The Kansas City Chiefs are for sure going to win their division. 13-3, I feel like, is more than right. I feel like that's exactly what they're going to get. The two teams I kind of had a hard time about in that division was the Raiders and the Chargers. I feel like that could be flipped around. I feel like maybe if the Raiders, the 10-6 is if the Raiders perform how I can see them performing. So we'll reassess it later on before the season starts, right after preseason, and standings may change. So now over to the NFC. We're going to start with the NFC North. This was a fun division to do, being a Viking fan and all. Minnesota Vikings, I have them winning the division at 11-5, but then Green Bay close right behind them at 11-5 also. I have Minnesota first because I'm pretty sure I have them beating Green Bay or having a better division standing against the Lions and the Bears as well. So then I got the Detroit Lions 7-9, and then the Chicago Bears at 6-10. So it's going to be a very, very fun race. It's going to be decided probably by the last game. Possibly, probably not. Who knows? But it's going to be a close race between Green Bay and Minnesota. Next, the NFC South. So I got the New Orleans Saints winning the division at 11-5. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers going second at 10-6. The Carolina Panthers at 7-9, and then the Atlanta Falcons at 5-11. So, this is gonna be a fun division. I mean, you got Breeze, Brady, Bridgewater, and Matt Ryan. This is gonna be a gunslinging show. It's gonna be awesome. I'm very excited. Like I said, I knew the Saints were probably gonna win this division, but Tom had a chance to win the division. I mean, they were only one game behind, like I noted previously. So the Saints could win more games. I feel like this is probably their lowest that they could go. Not any lower than 11-5 though. So let's go shift gears to the NFC East, where I got the Dallas Cowboys winning the division at 12-4, the Philadelphia Eagles at 8-8, the New York Giants at 6-10, and then the Washington Redskins finishing at 3-13. So the Redskins probably gonna end up just like last year. Even with the addition of Chase Young, I feel like the losses that they have are definitely going to be a lot of close games because Chase is going to be able to keep them in there. And I feel like Dwayne Haskins is probably not the guy there, but I also feel like he can maybe get it done. If Washington goes 3-13, it wouldn't surprise me if they go get Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields next year. So I got the Cowboys winning that one. And then the NFC West, I got the Seattle Seahawks going 12-4, then the San Francisco 49ers going 10-6, the Los Angeles Rams going 7-9, and then the Arizona Cardinals going 4-12. So this also is going to be a really fun, interesting division. The San Francisco 49ers could potentially, they won't go under 10-6, I believe. I feel like they're going to go over 10-6, maybe 11-5, who knows. But definitely I got the Seahawks winning that division. And as you can see, I had a lot of close records, you can say. So that's kind of how I have each division lined up. And now the NFL this offseason actually changed the playoff format from 6 teams to 7 teams. So now only the first seed is going to get a bye. So for the AFC, I got the Kansas City Chiefs in the first seed, the Buffalo Bills in the second seed, the Baltimore Ravens in the third seed, and then the Colts are the 4th seed. So those are the 4 division winners. And then with the 5th and 6th seed, I got the Raiders at 5, and then the Cleveland Browns at 6th, only because I had the Cleveland Browns losing the Raiders in Week 8, I believe. And then I got the 7th seed, I got the Tennessee Titans. So now for the NFC, I got the Seattle Seahawks as the 1st seed, the Dallas Cowboys as the 2nd seed, due to the fact that I have them losing to the Seattle Seahawks in Week 3. And then I got New Orleans Saints going 3rd seed because I have them beating the Minnesota Vikings Week 16. And then I got the Vikings as the 4th seed. So those are the top 4 division winners. And then I got the Green Bay Packers with the 5th seed. Then I got Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the 6th seed. And then finally I got San Francisco 49ers with the 7th seed. Now this could all change depending on if any injuries happen throughout this, rookie mini camp training, spring training, or not spring training, that's baseball. Just preseason. So even if any signings or trades happen during this, so like I said earlier, I plan on doing this again right after the preseason, just so I can see and kind of watch how does this team perform with these players. Granted, a lot of rookies play at the preseason time, but I would like to see at least one snap from the offense or one drive from the starting offense. So after that, we'll see how the teams perform and go from there. Well, that's all I got for you today, and you just got your fix with the Wicks.